Are you thinking about buying an investment property in regional New South Wales just because Sydney prices are too unaffordable? Well then, if so, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Nero Thambi-Pillay, and over the last 15 years I've seen people make this investing mistake time and time again. The Sydney market booms, just like it did previously back in say 2004. It becomes unaffordable for many, and then people start looking to invest in regional towns. Why?
Well, for a start, it's cheaper. You can actually get a decent house for your money rather than a shoebox. And of course, the cash flow is almost certainly better. It may even be positive cash flow, which is often considered the holy grail of investing. But let me ask you, how many people do you know who have created wealth by investing in country towns? In my 15 years of investing, I've never met a single person. Why? Well, to create wealth by investing, you need to get capital growth. Oh sure, you might be after positive cash flow, and that does make sense, except what if you can't get your regional property rented? Remember, most country towns have a lot of land to build on, but the population isn't growing a great deal. So if you can't get your regional property rented, you're going to be left paying the entire mortgage yourself. And if cash flow is a stretch right now, well then you're going to be in further trouble. Now you think that won't happen? Well, remember what happened to people who invested in regional mining towns for positive cash flow. Many of them have properties that are now worth less than their mortgage. Now, of course, I don't expect that to happen in larger regional towns like Wagga or Albury or even Newcastle. But neither do I think you're going to make any money either. And after all, isn't that the point? I mean, you don't want to end up like the poor lady I spoke to the other day who bought an investment property in Newcastle 4 years ago, and if she was to sell today, she would barely make any money. And she didn't see a property growing much more in the future either, because there were so many extra properties being built. Remember, if you're looking to invest to create wealth, what you want to focus on is capital growth. What you want is your property to be worth more in the coming years than you paid for it today. Sounds basic, right? But unfortunately, I see so many investors forgetting the basics and just focusing on the lower prices that regional towns offer. And that's what gets them into trouble. You see, everything is against you when you try to create wealth by investing in regional towns. Here's why. There are at least 3 factors you need for sustainable capital growth. Number 1, you need the population to increase, preferably rapidly. And unfortunately, I don't know too many people who get all that excited about moving to a small country town. Remember, the vast majority of Australia's population lives in capital cities, and that's a trend that's only increasing. 2, you need economic and jobs growth. And I'm sure you'd agree that most of the jobs growth happens in capital cities. Number 3, you need infrastructure growth. Now, this is what many people who invest in regional towns hang their hats on. For example, they say there's a new hospital coming up or some other similar project. However, if you look at the state budgets for New South Wales government, the Victorian government, or the Queensland government, you'll notice something very telling. 90% or more of every state's budget is directed towards projects happening in capital cities. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's right, but that's the way it is. So if governments are spending most of their money in capital cities, if most people are moving to capital cities, and if most of the jobs are going towards capital cities, then dare I say it, you need to be investing in a capital city. But that brings us back to the problem we had to start off with, which is that Sydney right now is unaffordable for many. Unless, of course, you want to buy some dodgy 2-bedroom apartment out west, which is bound to drop in value, mind you, because there are just so many of them. So what do? Well, you need to look towards other capital cities. And right now, when it comes to affordability and the highest prospects for capital growth, your best chance is certain areas of Brisbane. Now, that's just not me saying it. Core Logic, who was formerly RP Data, said they expect Brisbane to be the best area for capital growth in the coming few years as well. Still don't believe me? Well, rather than go through all the reasons why so many expect Brisbane to be the best area for capital growth in the coming few years, reasons such as Queensland's highest rate of population growth in over 10 years, or the massive infrastructure projects, or the strong economic prospects. Instead of all that, let me introduce you to a couple who are very skeptical about the Brisbane market as well. Yet they chose to follow my guidance and ended up buying 5 investment properties in 6 years. Want to know how they did it? Well, click the link in the comments field below, and I'll take you to another video where you can see exactly how they bought their 5 investment properties in 6 years. Oh, and they didn't believe they could do it either when they first started. Look, there's no opt-in required, just my gift to you. So click the link below and check out how this ordinary couple in their 40s from Sydney ended up buying 5 investment properties in 6 years. They paid off their mortgage faster than they ever thought they could, and they are now financially set for life. Click the link below and check it out now.